Right. Early on, and I'm talking about 2015, 16, you talk about investing. Did it ever get hard for you? Like, did you, now I don't want to say go broke, but was it almost where it was like, damn, like I'm spending too much on this rap shit and there ain't nothing coming back?
Uh, and yeah, it kind of felt like that up until I discovered features. You know what I'm saying? And rapping and working with up and coming artists or bigger artists that just love my music to the point where they wanted to pay me, not only just to pay me to rap with them and work with them, but they wanted me to feel good about it. See, early on in the beginning of my career as an artist, and especially becoming a celebrity, like I was so completely, and I still am, me personally doing it, but I was completely against, you know, me spending money or buying a verse from a bigger artist for me to be accepted by the fans or for people to give my music a chance. I always feel like for certain type of artists with certain type of capability and skill set, you kind of water down what you trying to create and the substance and aura you trying to put on your artistry of how magnificent of an artist or how captivating and moving your music or your artistry is. You pick up a crutch in the beginning of your career if you come out strictly rapping with bigger artists that are bigger than you without anybody knowing about your backstory or your music. It looks fake, it looks made up, or it just doesn't look necessarily appealing to someone.
It looks forced.
It looks forced. So I didn't want to be, knowing that I had the money to do it, I didn't want to go that route, but the other route than that is spending a lot more money on balling and living extravagant a lifestyle, having things that other people don't have, or marketing and advertisement and streaming or radio and shit like that. And that was unfamiliar and uncomfortable for me to spend money on because I just couldn't understand giving away money to something that I cannot see an immediate return or the immediate process of the return. I never believed in giving a radio person a $50,000 budget to push my song. I always felt that it's supposed to be organic and an organic push and an organic love and rapport that the fans and the world has for an artist that fuels a hit record. Then you put the marketing behind that record. When later on in life, I discovered that it's still an accumulation of additive talent and great music, but majority of it is great business and great investments with the right people. So because like I told you, when I first did the Say Cheese interview and shit, me spending money in the first beginning of the TSF, I probably done spent about $200 to $300,000 in the very, very beginning, first years, around the time when you was meeting me. Like having Benzes, rose gold. Prime example, like wearing rose gold. When you first met me 10 years ago, I was wearing rose gold. Rose gold wasn't an item in a rap game at that time. It wasn't, people saw rose gold and they thought it was copper. They thought it was bronze. It wasn't nothing familiar that people just knew to say, oh, this is rose gold, or just like they got green gold now. People only knew about yellow gold and white gold. Some people still don't know about white gold. Some people still call white gold silver or platinum because they don't understand the difference between the irons and gold. The people don't know the difference between the components that make gold. You know what I'm saying? It's elements that make gold. So that shit changed. People don't understand. You take out an element and you add another and you change the structure of it. And it's the same thing with the rap game. So I just was the person that knew, like, okay, boom, I don't got the advantage that they got. I'm at a disadvantage, but I also have an advantage because I'm in 100% control of what I'm doing and where I'm spending my money. So after I spent my first little $250,000 in the shit, and I started to see, okay, I got fans, people like me, they like my ad-libs, they loving what I'm doing, they believe in the movement, but I'm still different than everybody else, and I gotta compete now. And that's like the NBA. I gotta have the same type of training, the training regimen that these other athletes is going up with, or I gotta have be in the same level of performance facilities, or taking the same supplements that's added towards, which would be like the interviews, the media, the blogging, traveling, shaking hands, networking, things of that nature. These are all added incentives that creates a bigger buzz and a bigger love for an artist and a stronger relationship between the fans and the artist. And I was picking up all these things that I was going, but a lot of my creativity and my style was being taken from me, or, you know what I'm saying, misused, or however motherfucker want to put it. It doesn't matter because I still got rich regardless, but richer rather. But at the end of the day, it got frustrating more or less of the fact that, damn, I spent my first $250,000 in rapping, and now I'm making $2,500 a feature back, and I'm doing 10 features a week. Or, you know, when you're a brand new artist, this shit fast. So
Yeah.
I went from doing 10 features a week at 2,500 to 20 features a week at 5,7,500. Then I added that to, okay, well, I'm gonna do a feature, and I gotta charge you for the video. Then I added that to, oh, okay, now people booking me for my own shows. It didn't make sense for me to go spend that's how I feel like, okay, this is how I'm gonna save money. In the beginning, like, why go spend my own money and take the risk of a show not possibly doing well when I could just straight let these people that's booking agents and party promoters book me and my friends and my artists, and that's gonna keep me having more money in than I dish out, because I'm not spending the same amount of money that everybody else is spending on traveling, tour support, buses, food, merchandising and things of that nature. But I'm making all profit because I'm making all my money off of my streaming. I'm making all of the money from the features and the performances, the appearances, and it's no L's being taken financially from the residual or the immediate or mechanical generating of residual income and direct income from being an artist after I was $250,000 to $300,000 in. So now I'm spending my next $100,000 to $200,000 in. It's still majority of money that's not necessarily for rapping, but it's still money I'm feeling that it's coming back to me easier because I'm putting my time, my energy into this rap career, into becoming something bigger than what I was on the streets. So by me doing that, it just opened up different doors to where every time I felt like, oh damn, I spent $80,000 on this, or because I don't gamble, I don't shoot dice, I don't invest in the average things that dudes lose their money in investing. I'm not known for throwing money in the club. I make money in the club. So a lot of the things that were financial dispositions for most artists coming up, it wasn't a disposition for me because that's not nothing I have any interest in spending money on anyway. So all my money is going towards the program or driven, you know what I mean? But it got times where I'm spending more than I'm making, or it's slowing down, or I feel like, damn, I don't have this tour, I don't have a professional tour sponsored and pushed by Rock Nation or Live Nation or all these record labels, because I want to stay true to Texas culture and stay true to my belief system and stay independent. So it was just a lot of skills I had. I was about a little over $500,000 in, probably $700,000 in, before I really start seeing the real return, like physically, like where every month I'm making well in the high six figures off of being a rapper. And to me, from the streets, that's everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing 5 shows a month and 10, 20 features a month. Then later on down life, I started, you know what I'm saying, just understanding my position better and learning the music business. So that's when I started getting bigger streaming checks, or, you know, doing different distribution deals or different, because I never signed a record deal. So it's like I had to just create and find different systems that made sense, that was bigger and better than TuneCore for my record label and for myself, because I always knew I was going to bring other artists on and bring other people onto my spectrum. So in substitution of us or you signing to me, or me bringing you to my label and us making an agreement, and the substitution of me giving you a XYZ large amount of money up front, let me explain to you what this means when somebody give you this money up front, even if you want me to do that for you. And also understand that these are the constituencies that come behind these type of record deals and contracts, versus you giving up 180% or 360%. In record label language terms, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to be in a 180 deal? You want to be in a 360 deal? Where, you know, the money is being generated from every corner of the circumference of your artistry. And in actuality, it's enough money being generated. What I understood early that I don't have to do what everybody else is doing to be rich and to make other people rich. Nor do I have to, go. I can fade it. Motherfuckers lose $300,000 on dice and video gambling and, you know what I'm saying, hustling different ways. They hustling in the air. However, people lose money all the time. So I just feel like this rap shit is worth me investing into so many people because I'm trying to make something bigger than me. Because a real large part of my investment wasn't even just so much me investing into myself. It was me investing into the brand in the name of TSF and bringing so many people along with that. And those was the moments where I feel like financially, damn, I gotta get back in the streets and go drip a little harder because I'm down 80 bands, I'm down 100 bands, I'm down 150 from where I started. But when the money started coming back and it made everything else I did in life easier. Every other way I ever made money and hustle, it became way more easy and way more vast, and I had a bigger voice and a bigger audience and a bigger platform to do what I was doing. So it just started making sense. It started spending the money became fun versus the feeling like I'm losing money. But shit, now I'm making 6 figures a month, so I could spend in a 2-month span, I could spend $1 million on whatever I feel like spending, and in a 90-day span, I'm gonna make triple the amount. All I gotta do is stay consistent and stay active, and that's what I did. And I spreaded that method to everybody around me early on. So it was like before, and you know how record labels are and sign artists, they don't want their artists to do features if that goes against the budgeting or it goes against the advancement that we have given the artist, that goes against the invested interest or equity that we trying to make back out of the artist, because they paying you for a performance right, and the person that's paying you for this performance right, for you, like they say, promotional uses only. That is for you to have this song and make money off this song, posting it on social media. You get you a Say Cheese post. You can play it out in the club, but you can't put it on iTunes or these platforms for download or for sale because this artist is still in debt with us, the company. So I understood that part of the business very early on, and I understood the terminology that followed suit behind that very early on. So I understood that a lot of these up and coming artists are never gonna have the opportunity or have the chance to rap with their favorite artists. And I just so happen to be a person that's so many people's favorite artists. I just happen to be a person that is idolized and looked up to by so many people in this generation or the generation before, because I still represent old school H-Town culture. And some of the people that grew up on me when I came in the game, some people were 15 years old, 13, 12 years old, 11 years old. It's 10 years later. It's kids that I used to go to their high school with $97 a box is 7-figure real estate moguls now. When I was walking through your school saying, "Oh, we to you in the football stands," now I buy houses from you. You know what I mean? So it's just the way that the ball revolves and the wheels turn. Early on, I just always found ways to make the exact amount of money that major label artists was making. If they making 40 a show, I'm making 40 for show. You know what I'm saying? If they making this much money off of a platinum album, I'm making that same much money off having 12 artists. Right now I got 42 artists. And when I first met you, I probably had like 5, 6 artists. But still, of those 5, 6 artists, we've been making 100% of streaming and revenue for 10 years, starting from that point to having 42 artists streaming. So I just kind of understood.
Sheesh.
I kind of understood early on, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I could spend this money on his career. I could spend this money on being more advanced or traveling more or being able to live in this city for a larger amount of time. Plus, I got the respect and the love in the streets where people welcome me in they cities like that, to where I could be there and really work my move and you know what I'm saying, get involved with the communities or whatever economy that I so happen to be in, because everybody's economy of music and entertainment and culture is different. It's a different way to make money that makes sense to people's culture in every different state. You know what I'm saying?